Hello, welcome to the read aloud for the plants and ecology test. Question number 1. A model that shows the amount of energy available at each feeding level of an ecosystem. The food web, food chain, energy pyramid, or ecosystem. Number 2. An organism that gets its energy by eating or consuming other organisms. Is that transpiration, producer, decomposer, or consumer? Number 3. A non-living physical or chemical part of an ecosystem. Is that energy pyramid, abiotic factor, biotic factor, or cycle? Number 4. The scientific study of how organisms interact with their environment and all the other organisms that live in that environment. Is that ecosystem, geology, ecology, or biology? Number 5. The feeding relationship between a producer and a single chain of consumers in the ecosystem. Is that food chain, food web, photosynthesis, or energy pyramid? Number 6. A living thing in an ecosystem is an abiotic factor, biotic factor, consumer, or producer. Number 7. An organism that captures energy and stores it in food as chemical energy. Is that biotic factor, abiotic factor, producer, or consumer? Number 8. A particular environment and all the living things that are supported by it. Is that the water cycle, the nitrogen cycle, ecology, or ecosystem? Number 9. Organisms that break down dead plant and animal matter into simpler compounds. Is that decomposer, a producer, consumer, or respiration? Number 10. A model of the feeding relationships between many different consumers and producers in an ecosystem. Is that food web, food chain, energy pyramid, or producer? Number 11. One of the often brightly colored parts of a flower that surrounds the reproductive organs of the flower. Is that sepals, filament, petals, or stamen? Number 12. The small leaf-like parts of a flower that protect the developing flower. Is that pistil, petals, ovary, or sepals? Number 13. The male reproductive organ of a flower consists of a filament and pollen-bearing anther at its tip. Is that the pistil, the stamen, the anther, or stigma? Number 14. The pollen-bearing part of a flower located at the upper end of the stamen. Is that the stigma, the style, the ovary, or the anther? Number 15. The female reproductive organ of a flower consisting of a stigma, style, and ovary. Is that the pistil, stamen, filament, or ovary? Number 16. The process by which plant pollen is transferred from the male reproductive organs to the female reproductive organs to form the seeds. Is that pollination, photosynthesis, ecosystem, or decomposition? Number 17. The interaction between two species that benefits both. Is that competition, symbiosis, mutualism, or commensalism? Number 18. The process by which a green plant turns water and carbon dioxide into food when the plant is exposed to light. Is that decomposition, pollination, photosynthesis, or hydrolysis? Number 19. The part of a flower pistil that contains ovules located at the base of the pistil and ripens into fruit after fertilization. Is that the stamen, the ovary, the filament, or the style? Number 20. The slender part of a flower pistil extending from the ovary to the stigma. Is that the style, the filament, anther, or stamen? Number 21. The struggle between individuals or different populations for a limited resource. Is that symbiosis, commensalism, competition, or parasitism? Number 22. The sticky tip of a flower pistil on which pollen is deposited at the beginning of pollination. Is that filament, anther, stomata, or stigma? Number 23. The part of the stamen that supports the anther of a flower. Is that the style, the petals, the filament, or the stigma? Number 24. A region of Earth that has a particular climate and certain types of plants and animals. Is that a biome, an estuary, a consumer, or decomposer? Number 25. The relationship between individuals of two different species who live together in a close relationship. Is that competition, symbiosis, mutualism, or parasitism? Number 26. The relationship between two species in which one species benefits while the other is not affected. Is that competition, mutualism, parasitism, or commensalism? Number 27. Where does all the energy from a food chain come from? Producers, consumers, decomposers, or parasites? Number 28. Which of these is not a cycle that helps move matter through an ecosystem? Is that the water cycle, planetary cycle, nitrogen cycle, or carbon cycle? Number 29. Plants have many parts. In which part of the plant does it make its own food? In the roots, the stem, the flowers, or the leaves? Number 30. The blank biome receives the most rainfall, between 250 to 400 centimeters, or about 98 to 157 inches per year. Is that the tropical rainforest, a desert, a tundra, or an estuary?